What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 7th day of February, and here we are at about $0.00544 with roughly 8 hours and 12 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Okay, so we have found support. We found a good bit of support right here at prior areas of support that we've seen. We got a higher low overall. It's nice to see. What's not nice, at least in my opinion, is that we did go a little bit below the 886, but it's okay. As long as we're closing above it, that's okay. Right? We did close above it. We had a very nice reaction. We had a bullish engulfing candle that engulfed 1-2 days worth of price action entirely. We actually engulfed here 3 days of closing price action entirely, but 2 days of total price action engulfed. Very nice to see. Good volume came in, right? What we need to see now is some continuation, something that proves that we're not just in this range still, that we're not just seeing one of these, one of those. How about one of those, right? We don't want another one of those, right? Third time's the charm, maybe fourth time's the charm here, hopefully. I want to look at the short-term stuff and see what we're looking at, see if there's any probable cause to go lower. Is there any reasons to believe that we still have higher to go? Let's look at that on the 1 hour time frame, okay? 1 hour time frame here, first and foremost, as we can see, there's a lot of volume at the lows. I like to see that. A lot of volume at the lows is good. Especially a lot of volume coming out of lows like this, building like this. As we were building, volume died off. That's not good. Not necessarily. On the bright side, we kind of came back down below these closing points here, so we've, I think, seen the sell-off that we needed to see. We can go lower. Absolutely we can. We're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame here. We're on Coinbase. You know, there is a gap right there. A gap on the 1 hour. Damn, there's also a gap all the way down here. Now, again, I've said this plenty of times. Gaps in themselves do not mean that we have to go lower. But these 1 hour gaps on the Coinbase chart specifically seem to be rather helpful. They're I don't know why. No matter how compelling the evidence is that we're bullish, we always seem to go down and fill these gaps before actually making strides higher. We can fill this gap and then move higher, but man, I don't know if we want to go that low again. We don't have to fill the gap. We don't have to. There's plenty of gaps that OnyxCoin has left behind that haven't been filled, to the upside and to the downside. I'm not going to make my whole assessment off of that, especially off of like this little one, but maybe that one there, we could still go a little bit lower. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, we are in a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs. If you don't like that, maybe this is the downtrend here, whatever. We probably continue till we're in the oversold zone. So here at 00542, do I expect we'll pump through the roof right now? Probably not. We probably do take out this low, but still have this low prevailing. The stochastics look weak. They look like they want to turn around here and come back into the oversold zone. That will likely push us lower again. The MACD looks like it wants to find support here. If we find support here and we move, I'll just be wrong, and I'll be happy about that. The MACD would prevail, and the MACD would be telling us the truth, but I don't think it will. I think the MACD is probably going to cross through, if I had to guess. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, stochastics are bearish. The RSI overall is bearish. You have hidden bearish divergence here, but you've made your move down. You are at a good point to bounce. I don't know if you do. Maybe not. I don't like this candle. MACD, you're at a point to reject. Going lower makes sense. Daily time frame here, found resistance basically at the 40, a little bit above there. Stochastics both came out of the oversold zone. That's great. And okay, here we go. This is something to make me believe that we don't stop here. See, this is nice. This is nice. So short-term stuff, I'm very confident that we do go a little bit lower. We probably go below 00527. But how much lower? Do we just go to 00499, 005? Do we go down to 0047? I don't know. We can do any in all those outcomes, but I'm confident we'll see a higher low. The reason why is I'm confident that we will continue to pump from here, that we will move up higher. And the reason why I'm confident in that, look at that MACD. That's beautiful. That is beautiful bullish divergence right there. It's perfect. It looks great. That divergence started all the way back here. Now the MACD is a little bit different. You don't have to go all the way back to where the divergence started, but if you imagine that we do, or even if we go through it, we'd be breaking out of this. And then pair that with the bullish divergence on the stochastics, the fact that you just got out of the oversold zone with the stochastics too, and you bounced right off the oversold zone on the RSI. I like this. I actually do like this a lot. Short-term stuff, we come down a little bit. I could see us going below 0.005. If we don't, cool. Don't shoot the messenger. I really don't care. The downside, in my opinion, is going to be very insignificant compared to the upside. Because think about it from here, right? Imagine we get any upside at all. Let's say that we just go right up to here where these lows are, right? At that point, we're breaking out of this downtrend, right? Connect the high here to that high there. At that point, we're breaking out of this uptrend. Right? We get above this high here. At that point, we're breaking up out of this uptrend. And if we get a line of best fit, you know, that uptrend has an even lower line to it right there. And if we're breaking out of this uptrend, I keep saying uptrend, downtrend. If we're breaking out upwards, if we're moving upwards out of the downtrend, we're forming a new uptrend. The question then becomes, where do we go? Right? We'll probably take out this high, and that would be somewhere again around 1.73 to 2.5 cents, somewhere up at these areas of prior resistance. And then we can configure ourselves from there. We'll see what happens next. The golden ratio in this area would be like right here where we closed and found resistance here on a weekly basis, where we closed and found support here on a weekly basis. It's might be a good area to pull back to find support as well after we find resistance up in this area. I don't know. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said everything I need to. Oh, was it the XCN? Maybe we can go over the XCN BTC chart real quick. I think KuCoin took away its XCN BTC pair, which I don't know why. It is rather unfortunate because whenever we do that, whenever we do it our way, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. We'll do that, and then we'll do that. Click enter. You can't log it. It won't be in log, right? It says it's in log, but it's not in log. Like this, I promise you, and I know it looks different. This is not, it's not proper. There's something wrong. Wait, hold on. XCN, maybe it is. Wow. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't look the same as like any of my past XCN BTC videos. That's unfortunate. I really wish that I could have saved that chart, but that's okay. It's like the same chart, just not in log. But nonetheless, we look at this on a weekly time frame. We still have our bullish divergence that we formed, right? Imagine we have a chart, because we do, that has been forming bullish divergence on a weekly basis on its MACD since June of 2025. And you've just started to exact that bullish divergence over the past few weeks. Unfortunately, after building bullish momentum, you died off of bullish momentum, which you don't want to see. But now you're building it back. That's good. That's good stuff, guys. That's actually really good. If I had it my way, by the end of this week, we'll close here or higher. We'll be building bullish momentum, and if that happens, likely, again, that's just another signal that this will continue to grow. This is XCN BTC. If we're growing versus BTC, that doesn't mean the US dollar is growing. It just means you're outperforming Bitcoin. And in a bear market, I think that's the best thing that you could hope for, is to outperform Bitcoin. I do believe it'll be associated with the move up as well. And assuming that we do move up from a high to a low here, my expectation then would be, we've already interacted with the 382 a little bit. We probably go a little bit above the 382 at a minimum here, if not most likely somewhere between the 0.5 and the golden ratio, which would then imply that from the current price versus Bitcoin, OnyxCoin would pump anywhere from roughly, let's say, what? Wait, whoa. Is that right? See, this is why I don't like this chart. I don't know if this is accurate. Are we going to pump 100% versus Bitcoin? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to pump 100% versus Bitcoin? Or maybe 200 and 250% versus Bitcoin? Is that what's going to happen? I think that's accurate. I think that the chart is accurate. I just don't know. Again, the fibs, it's really weird because it says it's in log, so then the fibs are based in log. But I know that it's not in log. It's also not in linear. Should I just use linear? And in which case here, we have a totally different way. I don't normally do linear, but that's okay. The rules still apply the same. The 069 might not be as helpful. Then from here, we would think the 236 or the 382. Okay, from here. which would then imply an 80% move still to 160. I mean, we could see a 200% move versus Bitcoin. I have a hard time believing that we see something that's this extensive, but maybe. We've seen crazy moves before. Let's keep it a little more grounded. Something around maybe like 100% gains, maybe just a little bit less, to around 200% gains versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin probably doesn't move up too much in that time, right? Bitcoin probably won't go above like 80K in that time. So we probably won't see more than like a 12% move. So 100% to 200% move versus Bitcoin, while Bitcoin moves up a little bit, it'll probably be roughly a 100 to 200% move for the US dollar for OnyxCoin too. So something around 100% would then just imply a move that is here, a lower high, which maybe that's all we get, guys, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm pretty confident that we see a higher high, but let's accept the facts. Bitcoin's in a bear market. It's completely acceptable. It's completely possible that OnyxCoin goes to 1 cent and that's it. It's completely possible. 100% growth. 200% growth would put us more around 1.6 cents. Which to me doesn't make as much sense, but it could be a target, right? From a high to a low, 1.65 cents. That's right at the 1414. Maybe we see that. Maybe I'm off with my measurements a little bit, or perhaps we go higher here. But this actually, if we're looking at it, it would actually make more sense to call for prices below 2 cents rather than above 2 cents. Interesting to think about. Unless I'm underestimating the XCN BTC pair. And if I'm underestimating it, I mean, if we just run all the way up to the 0.5 here or the golden ratio, then at that point, yes, we probably do see a 2 cent price or higher. We probably do. We would probably exactly see like a 2 cent price or something right around there. I don't know. Interesting thoughts. We'll monitor the situation. We'll keep our eyes on it. But for now, I am bullish with a hint of bearishness. We're at 0.0544. I do expect that we'll pull back a little bit from here. We probably do go below 0.05 if I had to guess. But nonetheless, it's the weekend. It's Saturday. Sunday we do that. We pull back a little bit. And then over the next week, we probably pump continuing higher. And what we are looking for is a break of this range and inevitably a higher high here. It'd be very surprising if we broke this range and we didn't get a higher high, but after looking at this, I don't know, I'm a little bit more skeptical. Something around 1 cent is the minimum expectation. 2 cents and maybe just above 2 cents is like the maximum expectation. So that means this area might be the most likely area to stop at. I don't know. We'll see. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Bye-bye.